Masinamkele kwakho kwi-inkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay. Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome once again to your favorite talk show. My name is Percy M. Lamani. Focus this week is going to be a constitutional court judgment on Phala Phala report. My guest is Mr. Mpumelelo Bond Nyoka and Mr. Nkululeko Mantana, but we're going to start with Mr. Nkululeko Mantana, our political analyst. Mr. Mantana, masikwamkele kwinkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay.
Mandibulise kwamsasazi nakubaphulaphuli be-VOB.
Seemingly, most political parties accepted the constitutional judgment. What is your take as a political analyst now that most political parties have accepted this constitutional judgment on Phala Phala?
Yes, Msasazi, let judgment be a judgment that abantu abaninzi and even the political parties have been awaiting for it. Uyakhumbula into yokuba ngabana iparlamente yaye yambloka section 989 report owayekhokhelwa ngujaji uNgcobo. So ibloka i-ANC isebenzisa the majority enayo eparlamente. So eyona nto i-Constitutional Court ibiyithetha ibi-unblocka nje laa nto ibiblokiwe, otherwise it didn't go to i-merit as a case zoba ngabana mhlawumbi upresident ingaba u-guilty okanye akakho guilty. Nje is to unblock ukuthi mayiqhubekeke le nto usection 89 ayoxoxwa impeachment committee. Uzakhumbula lo msasazi i-separation of powers zizo ezenza ezakaMontesquieu i-checks and balances ukuthi i-legislature ibe yiyo holder i-executive accountable. Yona i-judiciary idlala ubu-referee xa ibona kusizwa kuyo kusithiwa mani singu-executive singu-legislature asivani ngalento, so ingene yona i-referee isogqiba iphinde iphume ecaleni. Njengangoku ingenile ya referee yathi hayi unconstitutional into yokuba ngabana nivote kule report. Yixoxeni le nto because yiduty yenu ni-executive ne-legislature into yokuba ngabana ni-debate le nto ize ke ngoku ibe neziphumo zazo ezi-right. Otherwise what I'm trying to emphasize into yokuba ngabana we are not yet kule ndawo yento yokuba ngabana ingaba upresident u-guilty okanye akukho guilty okanye kwenzeke ntoni kanye kanye.
Your take on speakers, who was the speaker then, Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, because recently in one of the podcasts, she has confessed that they have done wrong.
Yes.
Because she was a speaker then.
Yes, she was a speaker then. Uyena uNosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula kayinto kuba ngabana ekugqibeleni uye watsho into yoba ngabana uyayihenga eyakhe intloko kushame into yoba ngakulento yenzekileyo because lento was not supposed into yoba yenzeka. Nobaleka Mbethe naye wanaligalelo asitsho na into yoba ngabana nayo uyayiregreta into yenzekileyo, bekusuppose into yoba ngabana iqhubekeke. Kaloku msasazi xa i-Constitutional Court kwi-constitutional democracy soloko ini-founder ni-wrong, ithi loo nto there is a constitutional crisis kuloo country. Noba bingeyo South Africa xa ngabona upresident efeyisa i-impeachment okanye yona i-Constitutional Court eyiyo engureferee esoloko isithi bo ayiqali ukuthi ayikho le nto niyenzayo, le nto niyenzayo i-unconstitutional, le nto is invalid, ine-impact ekuthi uba ngabana ibangele ke into yoba i-country ibe kule nto ye-constitutional crisis. Because xa upresident ekwi-impeachment for instance and kubekho uspeaker obenguspika sepalamente othetha ngolu hlobo, kubekho nenye i-former speaker, zombini zibe kanti zithetha into enye, ne-minister eyi-senior member ye-ANC enguDr Nkosazana Zuma azothi no, there was a caucus ekhoyo eyasichazela into yoba masithathe the party line. Ilaa nto kanye i-ANC eParliament kudala ichazelo into yoba there needs to be a dichotomy between i-governance and i-organization. Niyazi into yoba ngabana nizii-members ze-ANC eniranwa eluthuli i-constitution ye-ANC kodwa xa ningena eParliament niranwa i-constitution ke ngoku ye-country. You don't only represent your organization, you are representing the constitution ye-country, meaning we represent wonke ke ngoku umntu okhoyo phaa eParliament. So you must be careful ke xa udila ne-constitution that ezinye izinto azifuni party line and ezinye izinto zifuna into yoba ngabana nihambe otherwise into ezakwenzeka i-implications zayo zizaba lolu hlobo ube ne-constitutional democracy.
But there are some
crisis.
people who are calling for the neutrality in that office of the speaker, whereby they are saying at least that office must be occupied by a retired judge, someone who's going to be neutral, someone who's not going to take any party line to avoid incidents like this.
This has been preached amaxesha amaninzi loo nto like ii-countries ezifana noma England where uspeaker abe non-partisan ngoku mhlawumbi ebe yimember yeparty kodwa ngoxa kuthiwa u-electwe as a speaker ube non-partisan ungabi yimember ye-country that iyakwazi ukwenzeka. Eyesibini into ekhoyo yinto ye-electoral system nayo ekufuneke ijongiwe because when ke ngoku sikune-constitutional crisis iza kwenzeka we don't know kule impeachment process. Let's say i-president really impinjwe. You see, now when people are talking, even now, bathetha into bakawana there is i-scarcity se-leadership. But amaxesha amanje xa bethetha nge-scarcity se-leadership bathetha nge-ANC that you can't find a leader kwi-ANC. Two, xa bethetha nge-scarcity se-leadership you can't find a leader on patriarchal basis because xa uthetha ngooGodemantashe, uthetha ngeebhosa, ngooZibi, ngooHlabisa, who are males. What I'm trying to say, who are males? No, who are males, even if they are not implicated. So ayibikho laa nto ke ngoku yojonga into yobana uba ngabana unoyitshentsha i-electoral system, i-electoral system will be able yona isinike into yoba ngabana kwi-presidential system ngoba sine-parliamentary system apha eSouth Africa because we only vote for i-parliament, we don't vote for i-president. I-president is elected phaa phakathi eparliament sesingekho thina. But i-presidential system uvote amaxesha amabini, sivotele iparliament, sivotele even head of states. That is why countries ezifana ne-America ufumanisa into yoba ngabana iyakwazi ilida ibe yi-Republican kodwa ibe zii-Democrats ezininzi okanye ibe zii-Democrats apha ibe yi-Republican. So ngamanye amaxesha we are not running asishort, we are not short of leaders. But we are maybe short of leaders kwi-African National Congress. But in South Africa, we are not short of leaders. So loo nto izawukwazi ukusibonisa into yoba ngabana no man, even nakwi-ANC for that matter, singakhange bantu abafana noDr. Nkosazana Dluma xa ujonge in terms ze-females okanye ze-gender and even nakumntu oku-within i-ANC ubona lo mntu bekwazile uthatha asuke yena kwi-party line athi no, this is wrong. So we need those people abazawukwazi uba ne-integrity, abazawukwazi into yobana bayilandele i-constitution bathi mna noba i-majority ithini na kodwa mna ndizawuzihambela noba loo nto leyo iza kundikhosta. Other argument mhlawumbi uzawuthi hayi ibe yinkosikazi kaPresident Zuma maybe, but yes, guilty by association. But uNkosazana Dlamini Zuma, we know history yakhe that into yoba ngabana yena uyi-leader ene-integrity on his rights. Sisuka naye as i-minister ze-foreign affairs, sisuka naye as i-foreign, une-experience as far as those things are concerned. So in xa sijonga i-acting president ngamanye amaxesha we mustn't be patriarchal. That's my point. We mustn't be patriarchal okanye sifune ngaphakathi sijonge kwi-ANC into yoba ngabana ngobani na abakhoyo kwi-ANC. We don't have to. We need to change the electoral system isinike into yoba singabahlali balapha eMzantsi Afrika sikwazi umfumanwa noba nguphezi ngaphandle esibona into yoba no man, this guy has got i-integrity izawukwazi ukuyilandela le constitution if we are in a constitutional democracy.
We will leave it there for now. Mr. Nkululeko Montana, our political analyst, will go for a commercial ad break. Welcome back once again from the ad break. I am still with my political analyst, Mr. Nkululeko Montana. Mr. Montana, welcome back from the ad break.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Mr. Montana, I am very much concerned about the statement made by Mama uNosiviwe Maphisa Nqakula. Honestly speaking, if her conscience told her that what you are doing at that time, what she was doing at that time was wrong, why she didn't voice it out then?
Yes, a very good question, Sasas. Now, we can't run away from the fact that, yes, disgruntled. And ngoba disgruntled ke ngoku uzawuyithetha inyani, but we must also be honest msaza into bangabana when you have a friend ngenxa yoba ningavani nala friend yakho benihamba kunye kusalayo laa nto ayithethayo amaxesha amaninzi ipercentage yayo uright, qha ngoku uthetha izinto zenu, uyaqonda, kungakumbi xa ukwazi uyicollaborate laa nto ayithethayo into yokuba ngabana xa uNosiviwe Nqakula Dr. Nonkosazana Dlamini Zuma ethetha ngolu hlobo ikhona into ebufanarha kule ithethwa nguNosiviwe Maphisa Nqakula. So xa usenzeka ngola ujoyina eza dots no, she may be right, but ke ngoku bekutheni angayithethi ngoku ya at that time ngoku ibisenzeka ithi loo nto no ngoku kaloku ndidisgruntled ngoku ndisusiwe ndizibona njengomntu obetreyiweyo, citing nezinto zaseZimbabwe into yoba ngabana man nasinto zaseZimbabwe yayikwa ngulo president owayendithumile phaa, kodwa ngokwafuneka ngoku mna ndithathe the whole flag, although at the end of the day yaba yi-ANC eyibhatalayo le nto, kodwa ngoku ndim owabonakala ndilolo hlobo. Secondly, kwelinye icala, it tells us about le nto ndidla ngoyithetha ubona who Cyril Ramaphosa is. It emphasizes what I always said to you, even kwilanto kwezilandela, like that when Cyril into isiza kuye, Cyril is ruthless, Cyril is cruel, Cyril can throw you under the bus just for usindisa yena. Cyril doesn't want to account. Cyril always hide behind the law. Didn't want into yokuba ngaba Cyril lies. I'm going to explain why ndithetha loo nto. UCyril akusoze umve account, doesn't want to account. As much as separation of powers, separation of powers talks about accountability, nothing else. And ngoba saying accountability, the good governance, the temple of good governance, the transparency, the accountability, the rule of law, even participation. Those are four pillars. Cyril does not want to deal with those things when the rule of law njengalanto yenzeke phalaphala isithi gqi into zawuyenza uzawubaleka azimele ngomthetho une-right futhi because ngokwe-constitution funeke yenzile. But why are you always hiding behind the law? Xa kusithiwa mani ziphi ezi donations zaka-CR17 zithi le conference wayifumana ngayo, when athi no, I don't know, interviewed by uThabani, JJ Thabani, 2024 2025 into yoba ngabana okay no 2017 udlulile kude kwathi kanti ngubani lo wakunika le mali iyimali no andikayazi. You are lying. I'm sorry, you are lying. You can't be until now ube kanti akubazi aba bantu. The only thing that he did akafunanga into yobana kujongwe laa nto iphakela aba bantu bamdoneyithayo aba ngoku bakuvula indlela bangabelungu bazi-directors in his office abanika yonke laa nto, wahamba waya ecourt into yoba ngabana mayingavulwa laa nto. You don't want to account xa usenza nto. Okwesibini ngoku yaphinda uyenza loo nto ku-section 89 kwakuthiwa unetyala man ikho nto yenzekileyo phalaphala. Yes, siyancinelana sonke wona kubiyiwe phaa and ifama yakho leya, but kukho abantu abafana no-Arthur Fraser abathi no man uyayazi le nto and bufuna unike 50 million. Kukho abantu abathi no masithunywe nguwe into yobana sihambe siye eNamibia. Kukho oNosiviwe Maphisa Nqakula bathi no man nam ndachazelwa ngolu hlobo. Why can't you go and explain to the people abakuvoteleyo? Uvotelwanga yi-judiciary, uvotelwe ngabantu. So that is a problem ke ngoku uCyril endinayo ngaye, that kule nto kaMaphisa Nqakula akakunqeni into yoba akufake phantsi kwebhasi just to save yena, just to save into yobana engafuni ku-account and then tell the lies. Americana, did he ever apologize? Noba ngabana uyenze nto just to know into yoba, but Cyril likes one on camera into yobana angabikho ne-journalist. Le nto beyenza yosi-adressa into yoba ngabana akazoresign, that's what he likes. But it doesn't like into yobana kubekho ijournalist ezawuhamba imbuze imlandelele nge-question. No, he doesn't like that. He wants to have i-family meeting asichazele into yobana akazoresign okanye yes uyayamkela laa nto. But the man does not want to account. We can say what we want to say. Sasazi i-problem ne-leadership. You can't buy leadership. These are the results zothenga i-leadership. You don't buy leadership. Leadership is a trait. It's either you are born with it okanye uyifunde into yobana yenziwa kanjani. But le ndlela uCyril aqhuba ngayo, it's not a way i-leader eqhuba ngayo. You can't do this xa uyazi into yobana mna ndizawuma ngento yobana ndikumlandela umthetho, ndine-right yokuthi review lento and all that, because you just don't want to delay into yobana ugqibe i-term yakho. But at the end of the day, uba ngabana iyaqhuba yonke lento, kuzawufuneka i-accountile.
Do you think the SG of the ANC will do the same if this process ended up in voting? Do you think he's going to instruct the caucus of the ANC to vote or to take or to go according a party like?
No. Umsasazi kaloku into eqalayo phaya kukubiza bonke aba bantu ba-involve, oRode and others. No maphisa nxakule zinto bazithethayo ngoku. No.
I understand.
And then kuyekwe ngokuvote.
I am talking about the end part of voting, of this process of impeachment. Do you think he is going to give them an order at the end of the day?
They have started already, Msasazi. They have phoned the DA as we speak into yoba ngabana zenime nathi kule nto ubona xa because results. But Louis himself is saying ndifowunelwa yi-ANC, ndafowunelwa nayi-business into yobana mandithathe iposition kaRamaphosa. So they have not learned anything. That can happen. Xa ke ngoku yenziwe into yobana kwifowuni ke mazibekwe phaa phandle zingangeni. Kodwa ke they have started already. The leader ye-DA liyintsha has told us publicly into yobana no, I've been phoned by members of the ANC, I've been phoned by business that I must take this position kule nto ye-impeachment. It's only Gayton McKenzie othetha udlangalaleli uba akazuvota yena remover uRamaphosa. Even aleyo i-wrong, because you must vote according to i-outcome ne-evidence oyivileyo. You can't now uthi ndizawuvota for uRamaphosa okanye andizuvota for uRamaphosa. You are biased because awuzoba ezigqibo sakho usenza kwi-evidence ekhoyo.
Can we trust our leaders in parliament?
Now they have lost everything. They have lost into kuthiwa trust. I-public trust ebantwini iphelile kwi-politicians. They need to do something else.
Mr. Nkululeko Montana, our political analyst. According to the Democratic Alliance, they welcome the ruling. They support accountability. Your take?
Msasazi uzaqala kufuneka uqala ubuze into yobana i-DA ngubani? I-DA ngu-FedEx, i-DA ngoTony Leon, aba bangaphandle kwi-FedEx. The leader ye-Democratic Alliance nje is not the and the donors zayo i-Democratic Alliance. I-Democratic Alliance will support i-ANC, one, on the basis that le leader izawungena yile leader bona bayifunayo bayinqwenelayo. You put uMashatile abangamfuniyo phaya, they will change what wena you are talking about. Lento bebeyithetha into yobana they will vote for i-ANC. They will not vote for i-ANC. Izawubeka umuntu abangamfuniyo pha. So they are remoting the ANC, and the ANC is on 40%. Izayivumela into yoba ngabana i-remote i-Democratic Alliance.
Just before we wrap it up, the concern of the business is political instability. Your take?
The concern ye business is not political instability, Msasazi. It concern ye business as because business in South Africa are talking about white people, the liberals, neoliberal economy. So bona ubangabana kuthiwa mabashare the wealth, bane worry wealth lena yabo. They are not worried about the instability. The country is unstable as basithetha because they have foreign nationals and all that. Yes, but bona when it comes to into the foreign, then it's not it's instability. Le instability kubo idibene ne economy le bayiphetheyo. ne-JSEs and all that.
As of May 2026, the MK party has officially handed or called the impeachment of the public protector, Advocate Koleka Gcaleka. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. Two things, even the ATM nayo, but ke yona eyayo ibhase ku-Cyril Ramaphosa, i-vote of no confidence, esele seyibhalele uSpeaker. But ku-public protector msasasi naleyo into, ufuneka ube ne-basis zento yoba ngabana, why are you sponsoring that vote of no confidence ku-public
Because
protector?
they are saying she has failed to do a proper investigation of Phala Phala.
Yes, kaloku wenza laa nto wawuyenze kumkhwebane yento yobana kubekho i-committee ezinto i-impeachment is for the judges and the presidents, and nezi vote of no conflict uyazi into yoba ndingayenza na ku-public protector. You can't just do loo nto public protector. You must find into yoba wane public protector whether ufit into yoba ngabona ii-duties zakhe azenze as babisenziwa phaa kumkhweba. It's not as easy as into yoba bona beyenza bafike eparlamente bafike bavote into yoba makahambe whether uyayithanda loo nto okanye kumthanda.
Let's leave it there for now. Thank you very much for sharing your insights with us, Mr. Nkululeko Chonyane Mantana.
Bulela nomsasazi Nkosi.
We'll go for a commercial ad break. After that, we'll be joined by our law and political analyst, Mr. Mpumelelo Bondinyoka. Sibuyile kakhona sinamkela kwi-inkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay. KungolweSithathu ezintsukwini sikunye naye uMr. Mpumelelo Bondinyoka, umhlalutyi wethu wezopolitiko, umhlalutyi wethu womthetho. Umcimbi esawujonga naye ruling or constitutional judgment report on Phala Phala. Mr. Nyoka, masikwamkele kwinkqubo yethu.
Ndibulise namsasazi nakwiMpuma Kapa family ndithi good afternoon.
The Apex Court has come up with the final ruling now on Phala Phala report. Take us through what is going to happen according to Section 89. What is expected from now that the Constitutional Court has ruled that what has happened in the past was unlawful according to the stewardship of Mama Unosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, who was the speaker at that particular time. They defended that report according to the retired judge who was given that a role to collect information around this issue of Phala Phala. Your take on that ruling, Mr. Nyoka?
Okay, context first, just by way of introduction. Section 89 is a removal clause. Although commonly we say it's impeachment, a president can be removed in terms of Section 89 or by motion of no confidence by 51%. Section 89 says that if any of the three factors are deemed to be present, like serious violation of the Constitution or the law, the first one, by the president, second one, serious misconduct, then the third one, if there's an inability to perform the functions, then the National Assembly may, underline may, not shall, by 2/3 majority of the members, remove the president. It's very, very critical to underscore.
So it must be that 2/3.
2/3 majority.
Nothing less, nothing
Nothing
more.
less. For a motion of no confidence, there need not be any grounds, but it must be reasonable. You can't call people to a National Assembly to fly all the way at taxpayers' cost and then not have a substantive motion by which you can say this person must be removed. There's no need for a reason. It must be by a majority of the members of the National Assembly. There's no reason. Here, there must be three factors. Even if those factors are deemed to be present, it's not compulsory for the president to be removed. It's may. The discretion is given to those National Assembly members to vote either yes or no. If they reach the 2/3 majority, well and good. If they don't reach it, no one can take the National Assembly to court and say, although this has been proved by a committee, you did not vote accordingly. That will be a violation of the separation of powers of the National Assembly. Where we are now is that there was, the thing of Phala, what happened. So there was a resolution that there must be a panel to look into this, called a Ngcobo panel, which investigated this and then said, on the face of it, we find that you should take it further to ensure that there is further evidence that proves that what we have found on the face of it is indeed so. So what has to happen then is that what was supposed to happen, the National Assembly, under whose competence all this is under, had to form a temporary and ad hoc committee called the Impeachment Committee. It's called the Impeachment Committee, although there in the Constitution there is no word called impeachment. It says removal of the president, but we commonly use impeachment. So there will be a removal committee, an ad hoc committee.
Is it a right term, that impeachment committee?
It's because it's commonly used and we copy other states like America. So we fall into line. Africa, we copy everything. But that's a story of another day.
What do you mean about us when you are saying we copy anything?
We are wearing a tie now. Our forefathers know wear ties. But let's leave it. You understand, Mr. Laman. So,
Okay, I
so
understand.
when the panel report came back and said on the face of it, he has committed A and B, serious violation of the Constitution of misconduct. The National Assembly, instead of saying we're going to form that ad hoc committee to call full evidence now, the president must reply, Arthur Fraser must also testify, all the relevant witnesses, including those reports that were discarded by the South African Reserve Bank, even those of the public protector. Everything will be put in the same pot. Witnesses testify. After that, the impeachment committee will then say, we have ventilated everything. Take the report to the National Assembly for it to vote, not to discuss further. Once they vote by 2/3 majority, if they say yes, if let's say the report says yes, the president violated the Constitution, if they vote and reach 2/3, that's the end of the matter. But if they vote, if the report of the committee says we did not find conclusive evidence, that's where the matter ends. So the engine of this is that impeachment committee. But what they did was to stop it and say, no, we're not abiding by this report. Yes, there are grounds for not abiding by it, but it relied mostly on hearsay evidence. Arthur Fraser said he got information from someone, but in terms of the rules of admissibility, that person must testify later on if provisionally his or her affidavit is going to be accepted. You understand? That person was not meant to be found. They relied on newspaper articles. That does not say that the president did not commit those things, but I'm talking about the rules of admissibility, the rules of law. You understand? You can say, I killed someone, but what you have said must be admissible in court. You may say, I've killed someone, but only to find out it was self-defense. You're defending yourself, but you use the word kill. You didn't say murder. You understand? There are questions that the president must answer, but the place where he must answer is not by the abortion by the National Assembly of the process of cutting it short. That is where the Constitutional Court said you have violated the Constitution because we are not accountable. By accountability, it means must act rationally. Here's a report that says on the face of it, he's got something to answer. Your duty as a rational body that is representing the people of South Africa was to take that and take it to the committee. Instead, they cut it short. That is where the accountability is. And I hear people talk about constitutional delinquent. The real constitutional delinquent is the National Assembly for not taking the matter forward. It was not about President Cyril Ramaphosa. Yes, it's the subject matter, but it will matter there in the committee when the rule of natural justice applies, when he has to reply under cross-examination what really happened. Did he, at the end of the day, commit any of the three of the two relevant factors, violate the Constitution seriously and the law, or commit serious misconduct? Sorry. So that is the issue. And why I'm saying delinquent is not the first time. In 2016, the very same National Assembly, dominated by the ANC, shut down the remedial action of the public protector when it said at Nkandla there were non-security upgrades. Therefore, President Jacob Zuma must pay for those. Do you know what they did? They formed their own ad hoc committee and put it aside, that report. That was deemed to be inconsistent with the Constitution. Again, it was not Jacob Zuma was wrong then. It was the National Assembly for not fulfilling its constitutional obligation, which is cited and founded in Section 237 of the Constitution, which says all organs of states or constitutional obligations must fulfill two things. They must be dealt with diligently and without wasting time, without delays. You must do it diligently without delay. Shutting down something that says there's an offense committed, that is not diligent. The Constitutional Court also on its own, let's also hit it. The Constitutional Court violated this Section 237 of not acting diligently without delay. It took 500 days to issue this. Now we're in a crisis. They took more than a year in issuing this report. That's why in the opening line of the judgment, the Chief Justice said, "I apologize for all this, etc. We are closing our eyes because we don't want to trust the Constitutional Court. It committed a wrong. This thing would have been dealt with much earlier. Now we're on the local government elections. People are supposed to be campaigning, but we're talking about Palapala. And in 2 years' time, there's the national elections. This should have been sorted much earlier."
In terms of time, how long do you think this process will take?
Okay, the president is applying is indicating that he's going to apply for judicial review. In terms of Section 33, any administrative action that is taken against you, you can apply for it to be set aside if there are three factors that you can show. Either it was illegal, irrational, or the process was flawed. He's exercising that. Also in terms of PAJA, you are entitled to take a decision that you feel is unlawful or unreasonable, procedurally flawed to a high court. He did make that attempt, but it was struck down by the Constitutional Court because of process. Instead of going down to the High Court and applying for judicial review in 2022, when the National Assembly voted down or shut off that panel report, he said it's moot, he cannot go ahead. In my mind, that was the time that the president should not have acted political, but legal, and pursued that application to clear his name, despite the fact that the National Assembly voted down that panel report. And now, suddenly he says, I'm going to take this under judicial review. Obviously, he cannot go to the Constitutional Court because he was denied access. So he must take it to the Gauteng High Court, one of the high courts of Gauteng. Ne? But on an expedited process, that's why I said expeditiously, on a fastened process, like time frames be lowered, etc., so that it's fast. The process cannot stop because the president says he's going to apply. We don't even have an application on the table. And secondly, there's a delicious principle of law that says you cannot create an emergency and then still plead it. You can't create an emergency and hide behind it.
Okay. Let's leave it there for now and go for a commercial ad break, Mr. Mpumelelo Bondi Nyoka. Let's go for a commercial ad break. Welcome back from the ad break. I am still with my guest, law and political analyst, Mr. Mpumelelo Bondi Nyoka. Focus this evening, it's on Palapala report. Mr. Nyoka, welcome back from the ad break.
Thank you very much.
We were listening in his last family meeting, Mr. President, he has emphasized that he is not going to resign. Another thing, we all know that he didn't steal money. Is that so? But he emphasized that he didn't steal money from the poor. Was it necessary for him to address this a case like that?
He was oversimplifying the whole thing. He was oversimplifying. There are several factors that are, puzzling, so to speak, that need answers from him, that have nothing to do with theft of money. Number one, in terms of the executive ethics code, a person cannot create a situation where there's a conflict between his or her functions as a state person and as a private person. In Limpopo, during the ANC Congress, he stated openly that I'm a farmer, I buy and sell game. You're not supposed to be involved with the conflict of interest. That has nothing to do with stealing money. Number two, there are no explanations about the fact that someone came on Christmas Day and bought buffaloes, yet there was no invoice that was given to him. The buffaloes were never fetched. After he heard that there was something, a theft or break-in, he did not go and inform the priority police that have something to do with corrupt activities. Instead, not even reported the police station. He told his presidential security detail to look into this. You understand? All those things are offenses in terms of the law and also in terms of his oath of office. He took an oath of office that said, I'm going to abide by the Constitution and the law and be faithful to the Republic. He has not come clean, except for that statement that was politically suicidal or legally suicidal, when he said proudly at the beginning, I'm a farmer, I buy and sell buffaloes. It has nothing to do with steal something. So it was a sign to me of guilt or desperation. Now, let's separate the two things that are facing the president. There's to answer your question directly again, there's the political and moral consideration. Then there's the legal and constitutional obligation. The two can mix at some stage. Politically, having us to be in this crisis, the president could have fallen on his sword, despite the impeachment that may come or the judgment, and say, I am resigning. I don't care who says what, I'm resigning. That does not mean that he committed any offense, but obvious on the face of it, he has tarnished the image of his office as a president. As the highest citizen of South Africa, we expect impeccable or blameless conduct. So I'm saying that we expected that he resigns, not because there's a sign of guilt, but because of the dignity of the office and without admission of guilt. If it does not do so, it should not stop the process. It should say, I'm not guilty, I'm going to answer in that committee to clear my name. Don't stop it, because even the attempt to stop it is not going to succeed. The Constitutional Court has spoken. It will proceed in the meantime. It cannot stop it by interdict. After having waited for 4 years, should have done that 4 years. That's why I'm saying there's no ground that any opposition to that application for judicial review is going to succeed, because you allowed 3 years to lapse, and you had an alternative to do so earlier on. And you cannot create an emergency and still hide behind that emergency. So it's a waste of time. To answer you directly, the president should have resigned. And let me touch the thing of the motion of no confidence. Motion of no confidence in terms of the second leg. The first one can be done against the cabinet. excluding the president. In that case, the president may have to reconstitute the cabinet. But if it's against him and it succeeds by 51%, not only the president, everything goes down, including the cabinet. That will be the end of the GNU as you know it. So no one is going to be enticed about the idea of entertaining a motion of confidence. It will go down. And the question that I'm going to ask South Africans now is, let's say the president leaves or is taken off. Have you thought about who's going to come after him? Is this not going to be worse than we are now? We may be walking in the park now, like a babe taking a baby in the park. It might be worse who's going to come. Are we ready for that person now?
Who are you talking about?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just saying, are we ready now? That's all. Don't ask me, Mr.
Why
Lebo.
do you think like that?
It's a Sunday. I don't want to lie on a Sunday.
Because his deputy is Mr. Paul Mashatile.
You've said it yourself, Mr. Lama. Are you ready for him?
No. I'm trying to probe you so that you can come up with the name. I know the name,
Yeah.
the person who is supposed to fill the shoes of the president in case the president resigns.
Are we ready for Mr. Mashatile?
Do you have an issue with Mr. Mashatile?
No, I'm just asking, are we ready for Mr. Mashatile?
Why not Mashatile?
Because no one is excited about him. They're talking about Tokyo Sequoia now. Mr. Patrice Motsepe's name was bandied about. The curious thing is,
What
why are
could
we
be
not
the
talking?
reason for those who are
I don't
talking?
know. I'm not
Your reason?
a psychoanalyst to know what is happening in the heads of other people. I just know what is happening in mine. That's why I'm asking, why is anyone not talking about him now and talking about Tokyo Sequoia? Tokyo Sequoia is a political ancestor. He's finished his time in the 90s. Why do you bring
In
back
your own
if there's-
in your own opinion, what is your opinion about Mr. Mashatile, the deputy
I
president?
don't think we have anyone suitable for president right now, except for the person that they are discouraging, who can bring the ANC, you know, the dignity of the ANC back, Mr. Patrice Motsepe. But
So-
because
so-
he has no struggle credentials,
So-
he's going to be fought down,
so-
and definitely not the
So,
Secretary
Mr.
General.
Nyoka, you prefer Mr. Patrice Motsepe instead of the current deputy president?
Yeah, no, definitely. In comparison, there may be others, but him better than the.
Maybe
Mr.
there is something that we do not know about the deputy president. Just share with us what you know about
No,
him.
why are people not talking? That's what I know. I'm curious, why is anyone not talking about him? That is what I know as far as that is concerned. Maybe also you know something that we do not know, I do not know. Share it with us, Mr. Laman.
Do you dislike him?
No, he's a charming, nice man. He talks nicely like a pastor. He can make many people born again, can open a church anywhere, but not as a president of South Africa.
Why?
No,
Why?
no,
Why?
no, Mr. Laman. I gave you an answer.
Let's go for a commercial break. Welcome back once again from the ad break. My name is Percy M. Lamani. I am still with my guest, our law and political analyst, Mr. Mpumelelo Bond Nyoka. Mr. Nyoka, welcome back from the ad break.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sons.
Let's look at the emphasis of the president when he was talking to the nation earlier this week. He emphasized a lot, repeatedly, stating that I am not resigning. I am not resigning. I think in his opening, he stated very clear that I'm going nowhere, I am not resigning. Your take on that emphasis?
Because there was a lot of clamor after Friday that from political parties and other commentators that the president must dive on his sword, fall on his sword and resign. So either on his own or his political advisor suggested that go and face the nation and tell them your options that you have chosen legally and your rights that are entrenched by the Constitution. So that is the reason why he said so many times it was for the sake of emphasis that is appearing to be strong. He's not shaken by this. It was a sign of saying, I'm strong and I'm not shaken. Do not worry
Is he a
about me.
strong character?
He's strong,
Is he a strong
appearing as if he's weak. You know, Sun Tzu, he wrote a book about you must appear to be weak, whereas you are strong. He's adopting that. Remember that the leaked video when he spoke about the DA. Remember that leaked video, Parliament? Yeah.
That clip.
That clip, that showed a strong person, but who's playing very as if he's weak. Slight character. Not slight character negative, but he's clever, let me say so. But I'm just worried about him, the way, you know, South Africans be ruthless. If you want to have a bad time and your spirit to be dampened, be a president of the country, everyone, when things go bad, they will be on your toes. I'm just thinking about him, not only him, his family. His name is being shouted left, right, and center. The leader of Action SA, Evan Mashaba, said, we can't have a president like him. He must resign. I mean, there were personal attacks. I'm just thinking about the family now. Is it worth it that you can put your family through that just because you want to continue to be a president? The honorable thing will be, look, I'm not denying. What you should have done is, I deny that I violated my office. There may have been an error here and there, but because of that, and I respect my office, I'm resigning. South Africans will have loved him, and there's a political party in red overalls that would have gone to his Phala farm and drink tea with him. It will drink tea with him. You know that party, Mr. Milaman. If he had, he would have, if he could have done that. But now he's strengthening the agony that he's going through. Because it's clear, the Sudanese who came here to buy buffalo in his farm did not take his buffalo. And he knew that there was money there. It was hidden in his couch, under the couch. It was not banked the following day. He had to stay a few months or 20 days. No inquiry about what happened. You should tell the police, the national commissioner is appointed by you. All those things, but just tell the security detail. There's more to it than meets the eye. So I'm trying to say he was emphasizing it, but he should have resigned. However, even if he has not resigned, he's exploring his legal right to clear his name.
Let's go back again to that emphasis. Does it show, according to him, that he is going to win this case?
It shows only thing that is going to fight to the bitter end. About winning, I do not think so. But it depends on two things. The terms of reference that are going to be crafted by the National Assembly for this impeachment committee. If the terms of reference are weak, then he can get away with it. So please watch this space. What are the terms of reference? Yes, we've got a prima facie report about the two relevant impeachment points, like serious violation of Constitution or the law, serious misconduct. But what are going to be the terms of reference? Is he going to get away with them because of the terms of reference being weak?
Again, according to that emphasis, I am not going to resign. I am not going to resign. Repeatedly so. Is it a sign that he will get support from the GNU allies?
It's no longer the ANC.
As much as they are saying that they are going to be transparent as they turn the GNU alliance, like the DA, they are going to make it a point. The promotion of accountability is there. They are going to follow the processes of impeachment according to the impeachment committee. Is it a sign that he will get support from the GNU Alice.
If it was before the national elections of 2024, you will be confident, but things have changed now. The new DA leader stated that if from the impeachment committee it emerges that there's conclusive evidence of wrongdoing, they were not going to back the president. They will vote against him. So it will be misconceived or ill-founded for him to have confidence on something that is not requiring any confidence, like during 2024 and beyond and before. If he must just pray that from that impeachment committee, there is no unanimity that an act of wrongdoing as envisaged in Section 89 was committed. However, as I said, even if it emerges that there was an act of wrongdoing, his confidence, misconduct. His confidence lies in the National Assembly. There can be no two-thirds majority for the impeachment for removal of the president, Mr. Lama. The parliament is fractured. If the ANC on its own says no, there can't be two-thirds majority. So that is where his confidence can lie. The main part where it lies. However, even if the two-thirds majority is not obtained, the dent on someone who said, I'm going to have a blind trust, I'm not going to be involved in business, but apparently still in business. You can't say black only to mean that you're talking about white. He said everyone will be blind trust, but he was actively involved. And Fraser's allegations are serious. They say those monies came from overseas and they were used by his political advisor, Chauka, to bring them first to his residence in Gauteng before they ended. So this is more serious, but the committee has to delve into it. However, that committee is multi-party. It's going to be a multi-party committee. I don't know how they are going to reach a unanimous decision, maybe by majority. But whatever happens there is going to go to the National Assembly. It's not 51%, but it's two-thirds majority. It's going to be difficult to get a two-thirds majority, even if the DA is not voting against him. If the ANC, all of them vote against it, it's bye-bye impeachment process.
So that is why he is so confident.
That is why he's done the numbers. The threshold is high. It should not be easy to remove a president.
Let's look at his reputation. What sort of reputation that office will have if he succeeded in impeachment?
It's going to be dented. The person before him had to leave, not voluntarily. He's still holding a grudge even now, The only person that acted, impeccably or honorably is Nelson Mandela. He had the option of going for the second term, but you know what he said? The first term is fine. I'm not going for the second term. In Africa, I've got a problem with what I call chelology, to cling to power at all costs. That's chelology. Like the 92-year-old president of Cameroon. If it's time up, it's time up. Even if you have not committed a crime, it's not about you. It's about the office that represents those South African nationals or citizens. People always misconceive this. It's not just because you're president, it's not about you. It's about us. All of us are part of that chair you're sitting on, all 67 million. So think about us, not you. You'll think about yourself once you've stepped down and get on to your business. He has nothing to lose in any event. He's got business interests, a billionaire. So what's being a president of South Africa? What is it? In the scheme of things, it's nothing. It's about us, that office. People should respect it, not only in South Africa, all over Africa. They should stop this chelology mentality to cling to power at all odds.
Let's leave it there for now. On that note of chelology mentality, Mr. Mpumelelo Bondinyoka, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us. Siyabule.
Thank you very much, and for your very, pointy questions. And maybe it's the color of your tie that makes you so feisty.
Siyabulela Nkosi kakhulu. That's how we come to an end of our show for today. Masibuye sibonane kwakho kwixesha elizayo. We are going to follow this Phala farm saga. Nkosi kakhulu ngokuba kunye nathi. Nkosi kumhlalutyi wethu wezopolitiko Mr. Nkululeko Chonyane Mantana. Segment 1 and 2, segment 3, 4, 5, Mr. Mpumelelo Ponti Nyoka. Nkosi kakhulu nakuna apha ekhaya ngokuba kunye nathi. We love you. Happy Sunday, happy Wednesday. Nkosi kakhulu siyabulela.